Hello student, myself is Dr. S.A. Khairnar, Associate Professor from the Department of Botany, MEP Samaj, SVKT College, Deolali Camp. Students, we are studying the study of plant families in the video series. So today we will going to studying the next family from our syllabus. Whatever families we are studying or preparing, that we are preparing for a SYBSc class as per the SPPU University of Pune. So under recap, what we were studied during the last video, that we will just revise. In the last video, we were studied the one of the family of Monoclamidae. The name of the family was Nyctaginaceae. Nyctaginaceae is a apetalous or monoclamidous family, and that is what the speciality of a large color membranous or papery bract. So our today's agenda is for studying the next family as per the our syllabus. Today we are going to studying the family from a subclass Monocotyledon. Under this subclass or class Monocotyledon, so our today's agenda is we have to study the systematic position or classification of the family as per the Bentham and Hooker system of plant classification. After that, we also have to see what are the salient characters or diagnostic characters are present or occurs in the plants of family Monocotyledons. So under this Monocotyledon class, we will going to studying the family Amaryllidaceae, and we have to see the classification and salient features or distinguishing characters of family Amaryllidaceae. We also have to learn the floral formula of flowers of plants of family Amaryllidaceae, floral diagram, and we have to lastly see that what is the economic importance of this particular family with respect to different uses of the plants belongs in this particular family. So our today's learning objectives are that we have to know the classification or systematic position of our today's family Amaryllidaceae. We have to study its salient features or understand the distinguishing characters of Amaryllidaceae. We also have to form a floral formula, and we have to draw the floral diagram of a flower of the plants of family Amaryllidaceae. And lastly, our last object of us is what? To study the economic importance of this particular family with respect to their various uses as a ornamental, medicinal, or whatever it may be, that we have to see under the economic importance. And in that we also have to see what are the common plants belongs to this family. We are aware with that plants. So with concern to these learning objectives, we are starting the study of family Amaryllidaceae. The family Amaryllidaceae is generally identified because of its ornamentally useful plants or the fragrant flower yielding plants. So basically the different kind of lily plants are belongs to this family. You can observe the images. The first image is what a crinum lily, and this is a one of the common ornamental plants belong to this family. We see this plant planted in the garden or in the institutions or for their showy attractive flower. Also this plant is seen planted along the roadside or at the middle size of road or at the mid of road. The second image is what? The image of a tuberose plant, that this is a one of the important plant belongs to this particular family Nyctaginaceae. This tuberose plant is also a one of the ornamental plant, and also it is a one of the plant widely cultivated for their flowers. The flowers of tuberose are fragrant, and that's why they has various uses. They have uses to yield fragrance from them, and also they are used in the preparation of garlands or different kinds of floral articles. And also because of the flower fragrance, these plants are used to plant ornamentally in the gardens also. So if you will see worldwidely, this family Amaryllidaceae shows about 80 genera and 2258 species. From this number, in our country about 65 genera and 1400 species are occurs. So our countries are also showing the good number of diversity of the plants belongs to this particular family. Now we will see the classification or systematic position of the family Amaryllidaceae according to Bentham and Hooker system of plant classification. This family belongs in a division Phanerogams because the seed bearing plants, subdivision Angiosperm, flower possessing plants, class Monocotyledon, leaves with parallel venation and presence of adventitious roots, trimerous flower. That's why this family is come under the monocotyledons, and in the monocotyledon this family is put or kept in the series Epigyne. The word itself indicates that the flowers are epigynous in nature. There is a inferior gynoecium or inferior ovary, and family Amaryllidaceae. This is what a systematic position or classification of this family as per the Bentham and Hooker system of plant classification. Now we will move towards the study of salient features or some of the typical characters present in the different plants of this family, and that characters are considered as a salient features, or that may also be considered as a distinguishing characters, means somewhat specific character from vegetative as well as reproductive structures. If you will see, the plant belongs to this family are generally annual or perennial in nature. Their life cycle may very rarely they may annual, but mostly they are perennial. Once you planted the plants, they may continue for several years, and they are having the underground rhizome, corm or bulb. So because with the help of this rhizome, corm or bulb, the plants are generally propagated or they are generally cultivated. If you will see, the leaves of the plants belongs to this family are generally radical or colline, simple, linear. They don't have stipules, so that's why they are exstipulate, and they are showing the parallel kind of venation. So leaves are radical, means they form from the underground bulb, rhizome or corm. That is what nothing but they are forming from the root structure, and that's why they are considered as a radical in nature. This family possesses the bisexual flowers. Generally the flowers are trimerous. They are epigynous in nature. The gynoecium is inferior. There are 3 whorls or the many whorls of a 3-3 are present in the flowers. In the perianth or in the flower, there are 6 tepals, and they are present in 2 whorls of 3-3. So that is what even though the flower is trimerous, but there may be a many whorls of tepals can seen in the flower. So in this family mostly the flowers are with a 6 tepals, and they may present in 2 whorls of 3-3 each. Generally the perianth or tepals are petaloid, means they are mostly colored in nature. Some mostly they are whitish or milky color, but there are also some bright color tepals are also present in the some of the plants of this particular family. They are gamophilous in nature, means they are united at the basal portion of the tepals are forming a elongated tube, and only the upper limbs are remain somewhat free, but mostly they are gamophilous, and that is considered as a gamophilous in nature. The basal portion of the perianth is what tubular. Then there are presence of 6 stamens opposite to each tepal whorl, and these 6 stamens are also present in a 2 whorl, 3 in each whorl. They are basifixed in nature. The anther lobes are remain attached at the base with a filament, and that is what a basifixed kind of condition we will observe in the androecium. The gynoecium is tricarpellary, syncarpous, inferior ovary with axial placentation. So these are what the some important characters are seen in this particular family. Then fruit is capsule type. Now we will see the next point related to this family, that is what floral formula and floral diagram. While studying floral formula and floral diagram, we will also study one of the plant as a type study belongs to this particular family. Here you can see, you will see the 3 images. The first image is showing there is a part of habit of the plant Polyanthus tuberose or tuberose plant. That is what some bracts or leaves are there with a scape or inflorescence. The inflorescence is mostly racemose in nature, simple raceme or spike kind of inflorescence is there. Then you can see the LSO flower showing the basal inferior gynoecium, then united tepals. The epitepalous stamens are also seen. The stamens are remain attached to the base with the tepal lobes, and that is what a epipetalous condition. You can also see the single stamens showing the basifixed attachment of the anther lobes with a filament. Then you can see the figure D, that is what showing the tricarpellary syncarpous gynoecium, and that gynoecium showing the ovules are on the axial placentation. Then you can see the second figure, color figure, that is showing you the diagram of floral diagram. So there are 2 whorls of tepals, each whorl possessing the 3 segments of tepals. The first segment, then second segment. If you will see, these tepals are seen united, and they are valvate, but the inner whorl is inside the outer whorl, and that's why we can see the inner lobes of a tepals are present inside, and outside are the outer whorl. Then you can also see the epitepalous stamens. Each stamen is in front of or opposite of each tepal lobe. The stamens are also present in a 2 whorl. You can see clearly in the figure. At the center there is a tricarpellary gynoecium. Then the bract is present, and the mother axis is also there. You can see the floral formula. Now we will see the flower is bracteate, actinomorphic. They are bisexual, presence of perianth in 2 whorl, gamophilous in nature. The stamens are also 6, but they are also present in 2 whorls. There is a epitepalous condition, means the filament of stamens are remain attached to the tepal lobes, and that is what epitepalous condition. The gynoecium is inferior, carpels are 3, they are syncarpous, and ovules are on the axial placentation. So this is what about the floral formula and floral diagram of this particular family. Now we will go to see the next point about this family, that is what examples with economic importance. Actually, as I have already said that this family possesses some of the economically important plant that may have ornamental uses or that may have some other uses. Now here you can see there are 4 plants we are now looking. These we are seen here. These are the Polyanthus tuberosa, that is what commonly identified as a tuberose plant. As I have already explained you that this tuberose plant is one of the garden plant, and it is also used for cultivation for their flowers. Their flowers are sold daily in the market for the different purposes, for making garlands or for making some floral ornaments, and also the fragrance or essential oil is also extracted or distillated from the flowers, and that can be used for the different purposes. So this is what our first plant, Polyanthus tuberosa. Then second plant is Agave americana. Commonly this plant can be identified as a ghaipad. So generally this is what a fiber yielding plant. It has underground tuberous or some stout stem or suppressed stem. So that underground suppressed stem, after removing the leaves, that can be used for distillation to obtain the variety of liquors from by the fermentation of that tuber of a Agave americana. And mostly these plant leaves are useful for obtaining the fibers. The young leaves or the green leaves are chopped, and they are put for decomposition in the water bodies for some days, and after some days when the upper chloroplast or upper portion is got decomposed, then that leaves are taken out and beaten to remove the extra material, and after beating the fibers are obtained. So these fibers are lot of uses. The fibers are used for preparation of ropes or also for the handicraft articles. So this is also one of the economically useful plants, can occur widely in our country. Then another plant, that is a Crinum asiaticum. Commonly this plant is identified as a crinum lily. Whitish color flowers are there, and it can be seen planted in the gardens or even at the middle portion of the highways or roads. So this plant is planted. So mostly this is a ornamental plant. Then another plant, that is a Amaryllis belladonna. This is also a ornamental plant. In general, this family gives us the some ornamental plants because of their showy or fragrant flower. So this is what the economic importance of this particular family. Now we will just summarize this family again by reviewing the some of the distinguishing characters or salient feature. As I already told you that plant may be annual, perennial with underground rhizome, bulb or corm that can be used for vegetative propagation. Leaves are radical, colline, simple, exstipulate with parallel venation. Flower is bisexual, trimerous and epigynous in nature. Tepals, Perian shows 6 tepals. They are present in 2 whorls. Each whorl possesses the 3 tepals. They are gamotepalous in nature. Stamens are also 6. They are also present in 2 whorls. Each whorl possesses the 3 stamens. Then gynoecium is tricarpellary, syncarpous and inferior in nature. Whorls are present on a axial placentation. Fruit is generally capsule or berry kind. Now, what will be the expected assignment on this family? You can see the question may be expected on this particular family are as like give salient features, floral formula and floral diagram of family Amaryllidaceae. This may be one kind of question. Under this question you have to answer the or list the salient feature of this particular family. You have to write floral formula and draw the floral diagram. Then give systematic position with region of family Amaryllidaceae. Again, what is the classification of this particular family with Bentham and Hooker system, that you have to write down with regions you have to mention. And then there may also be expected questions, question like a give economic importance of family Amaryllidaceae. So here you have to mention the economically important plants with their uses, like ornamental plants like tuberose or fragrant flower plant. Then the plant like agave, that is a fiber yielding plant. Then crinum lily used to plant as a ornamental. So this is what the economic importance of this particular family. So this is what our today's family belongs from the class Monocotyledons as per the our syllabus. Now in the precap I will say you, or I will give hint about our next video. In here we have completed the studies of family as per our syllabus for the SYBSE. But in coming video we will see about the some topics of ecology. Under that we will see introduction to ecology, then types of ecology, autoecology and scene ecology, and we will also see biodiversity, biological diversity. This will be our topics or our hint for the coming video. Okay, thank you.